Live.
Good evening, everyone. Today is Tuesday, August 20th, 2024. This is the City of Kearney Park and Tree Board. I have taken roll. We have 4 members absent: Jennifer, Connie, Nick, and Allie. We do have a quorum, and if everyone would please stand and recite the Pledge of Allegiance, please. I pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all.
Eric, if I may, Allie has joined us online.
Okay. Thanks, Ryan. Welcome, Allie. And Ryan and Allie, if you have any comments, just jump in right away. I know there's a delay, but this way we can get you in. Again, I have taken roll call. We have 6 members present and 3 absent. Do I have a motion to approve the agenda as noted?
I approve. Motion.
Second.
Jeff and Lisa. Can I have a vote? All in favor?
Aye.
Okay. Can I have a motion to approve the minutes if you have had a chance to read them over, and if there are any corrections or additions that we need to make, let us know.
Move to approve the meetings of the July 16th, 2024 meeting.
Second.
All in favor?
Aye.
I don't have anything under park policy requests tonight. Wanted to give you some updates on the park system. Our park maintenance is, as always, continues to go. I wanted to let you know we had a quarterly meeting a couple of weeks ago. This is something new that all departments came together. The city closed City Hall and it was an all-city staff meeting. And we always talk about cleaning the parks and things of that nature. One item that I want to let you guys know was astounding to Ryan and I, and Ryan jump in on any of this. During the first quarter of fiscal year, which is April, May, and June, our fiscal year begins April 1, we have dumped in McPorter Park, Jesse James, and Lions Park either a combined total of 838 bags of trash or barrels.
Wow.
In a 3-month period. It blew us away. I've been having Ray Kendall, our lead park personnel, keep track of how much trash they are dumping, and the barrels are 55-gallon drums, and then we have the 45s down at Lions Park for the parties and stuff. But we did have baseball at that time, and when we're dragging trash and people are practicing and having games and the parties down there, 838 bags of trash. So we're keeping the parks clean, and we'll do that. That's something new that's going to be done every quarter, where we give our metrics updates and different things of that nature. How many people we had in our first quarter of sports and different things like that. And it was nice hearing the different things of all the other departments, but that's what we have. So
Yeah, and if I can, here's a really good
Go
team
ahead,
building
Ryan.
exercise as well.
Go ahead, say that again, Ryan.
If I can, yeah, it was a really good team building exercise just to kind of have all the departments together, and there's a lot of people we don't get to see on a daily basis, so it was pretty cool.
Thanks, Ryan. In our capital outlay segment, the McPorter Park surfacing will begin As of now, the latest we've heard is they will be there on September 3rd to start. Now, whether that's blocking it off for the first day and getting their barrier fencing and things of that nature, but that's the schedule that they have given us to start the Lions Park, and then they'll remove all the playground mulch there. What we can use, because we'll have the big trucks that we have, and we'll take that out to Jesse James Park and use what material we can. And then the other material that might be lower on the ground, lower to the actual dirt surface underneath that we can't use, we'll take that out to the compost site. So what we can use, we're gonna reuse at another location. Brian, you wanna add anything on that?
No, we're just really excited to get that going and make two of our playgrounds more inclusive for everyone.
You can expand on the second playground, Ryan, if you'd like. The Mac Porter one.
Yeah, I really like the Mac Porter playground because we got to reuse all the stuff from Jesse James originally, or excuse me, from Lions Park originally, and they're planning on just as soon as they get done at Lions, heading straight out to Jesse James and doing the same.
Yeah, one thing that because it's surrounded right now with border timbers, just like Jesse James Park is. So after they finish Lions Park, they'll go out and take up the border timbers, and they're gonna put concrete down, a concrete border around, and then it'll be level there. That way, and again, the main thing is, granted, we don't have any playground mulch anymore, and that's good. Secondly, it's gonna be nice and level, a constant nice level surface for everyone, including people that might have handicaps, older people that go out and watch their grandkids. That playground mulch is not the most stable things to walk on. So we're excited about that.
What color are those again?
It's gonna be two different colors. Down here at Lions Park, it'll be a light blue with black, a blue and black mixture, 50-50 mix. And then out at Mac Porter Park, Ryan and I decided on it's a darker brown and black finish type of colored rubber. So those are the two colors we selected. While we're on the topic of some parks, I know David heard this last night because we had a Board of Aldermen meeting, but the Splash Park final day will be Labor Day itself, ending at 8 p.m. That evening. So after that's done that day, then naturally the third, the company comes in, but Ryan and I will be draining that down, opening things up, and then get the water department in there with us to make sure we break the seals. That way we don't have any frozen pipes in case there's a air bubble or a water bubble in there. So we'll be draining that down, and that'll be then winterized, and we'll fire it up again next spring. So another season of the Splash Park. Any questions on any of that?
Is the bucket working okay now?
It is.
Okay.
It is. We had a gentleman come up, and they sent us two bearings, and they can't understand why the bearings were wearing out, and so they sent us two new bearings at no cost to us. We had to pay for the install of it, and then get a scissor lift to get up there, and they asked, are you greasing it? We grease it every month just to make sure that, and we use marine grade grease, that way it's for, it's good for water. So that's the type of grease. And Ray gets up there once a month and does that. So, and we're supposed to, he said when we first got it done, Ryan, this is our fourth summer there. It's been open, we've had the park for 3 years, but 4 summers of the Splash Park. All we'd have to do it is, once a summer. Well, we're not doing that. We're doing it every month. And so Ryan and I can't put our finger on what it is, but it's fixed and used, and we cut the water flow down on it too, so it doesn't dump quite as frequently, and it's still great for the kids, so.
How about the playground equipment that was blocked off? Has there been any progress there?
Yep. Ryan, you want to touch on that?
Yeah, I can speak on that. Hold on. There we go. Sorry about that. So actually, Playcraft, the manufacturer, has sent us new support brackets for the tubes that are in question to get them more. It'll make the gap between the support bracket and the tube less, because essentially it was what's called a entanglement hazard. That means a kid could potentially get their clothing entangled in it, and worst case scenario, cause some sort of choking or strangulation hazard, and we definitely don't want that. So Playcraft agreed to send us new brackets free of charge, and we are currently working out a deal to get them installed. It's our hope that we can get it around the same time or shortly thereafter the new surfacing goes in. And we're also working on who's going to pay for it.
Right, because Ryan and I, Ryan was on the phone with him again. I reported this to the board last night because they had the same question. And Ryan was, that's why he isn't here. He's been ill the last couple of days, but Ryan made a call to them yesterday about, we're not playground installers, and that's what I told the Board of Aldermen last night. We're not playground installers. We don't want it to where we think it's right, but it might not be right. And we think because they sent us the new brackets, that it's a defect in the original design, and we think that they should come back. So we're gonna push hard for that. We don't know the outcome, but it's going to get fixed, and we do have the new they call them saddles that they sent us, and we do have them in stock, so it's just a point of getting them up here, but we're not going to open it unless we're for sure. We're safety first because of that.
And I will add,
What'd you say, Ryan?
I'll add that our independent inspector, Ben Bowden from Playforce, is advocating very strongly on our behalf that Playcraft comes in and installs them for us.
Okay, good.
John, did you have a question?
Yeah, what are the estimated costs of this? Where are you talking about sharing or trying to get at?
We just don't have an idea because we just got the saddle, and then we've been in contact with them about doing the install. So we have no idea.
No idea what it's, okay.
I can tell you, there's some, at the playground at Jesse James, that playground was installed in 2007. And there's some pieces that are wearing on that, and they came out and sent us the new pieces, and then we had to pay for the install, and it was about $2,500. And there's a couple more pieces now right at the entry to the slides. It's not as, right now, a safety concern, but it's at the end of the year, and we want to get it done, and we have some money in capital outlay, so that's going to be on the next Board of Aldermen meeting, that two pieces of two different slides right at the entrance, and it's right at the top. It's not anything weight bearing or anything, but we want that playground installer, the same installer that did the whole thing originally is coming back to do that again. So he knows that equipment, and so that's going to be happening as well. So it's just, that playground out there is, like I said, been there since 2007. Still, I don't care. It's still the best playground in town. Still the best playground in town. So that's all I have, unless anybody else has any questions on that. Thanks, Ryan, for your input. This Saturday and Sunday, or it could turn into just a one day, we don't know the information yet. Greg Gillahan, who came before the board earlier this year, they're doing, hosting a pickleball tournament at the courts. Ryan and I will be out at the amphitheater this Saturday. So Greg Gillahan and his crew are handling the pickleball tournament, and Ryan and I will be out at the Outlaw Music Festival. But stop by, say hi to the guys if you swing by the pickleball courts this weekend, because there'll be, I saw we had some more come in, so I think we're up to about 45 right now, something like that, of entrants for the tournament.
Are the lights gonna go stay on an extra hour? Did that?
It is.
Okay.
The lights, everything's approved, and they shut off 10:45 and then dark at 11. So,
Okay.
yep.
Okay.
Jesse James Festival, just want to let you, a reminder about that. It's the second, third weekend upcoming. We take a major part in that as far as getting the grounds ready for the festival committee. This year is something different because the Board of Aldermen, we've had some turnover, and there's new people in the city that they don't know that it's, who does the festival, who does what for the festival. So we did a public service agreement of what their requirements are, what the city's requirements are, including the park, the street. City Hall has a small part in it. It's just to let the board know what all goes on with the Jesse James Festival. And that was part of when we had our metrics or our meeting prior to the fiscal year of services that we provide. And I don't think a lot of people actually knew how much that the city contributes to the festival. And we contribute a lot to the festival. So that is upcoming, and again.
What's the dates of that again?
It's the second weekend, so it'll be the second weekend. The Saturday is the demo derby, and then the third weekend, Friday, Saturday, Sunday. And then the parade
13th,
is.
14th, 15th, and then the 20th through the 22nd.
Yep. And the parade is that Saturday of, I think, the 21st. I think that's a Saturday, if I'm not mistaken. So. Ryan, you want to touch a little bit on the chamber nomination that we were notified by?
Yeah, sure. So we got notified, this is really cool, that the chamber has their annual gala coming up, and we were notified that Kearney Parks and Rec has been nominated for Biggest Community Impact Award. So we're very excited about that, and there's links all over. Eric and I and Ray have all shared them. I've stopped short of promoting it on the official city page, but you can go and vote for Biggest Community Impact, and we're just absolutely tickled to be nominated for it.
Yeah, just to be and there's a lot of good people out there, a lot of businesses that were nominated that are great businesses that have done a lot for the community. But it was, as Ryan said, it's just nice to be nominated by people in your own community. So with that, I'm going to let you all know that the Parks Department is now in charge of the actual cemetery. We have a part-time cemetery sexton. As about 2 months ago, I'd say. His name is Marcos Barbosa. He works about 20 hours a week. We think once he gets in the flow of things, eventually that will turn into a larger scale, more than 20 hours a week. The Park Department will help them as far as helping maintain, spraying the grounds and things of that nature. But they had their own separate budget in the actual city budget. So one thing I wanted to let you know, out at Fairview Cemetery, there are no cemetery rule signs or anything of that nature, and it's just been basically people have got to do what they wanted to do out by their graves. And God bless our mowing crew right now because they're having to deal with all sorts of things. But we had a meeting with Marcos, Ryan, and myself out at the cemetery. Excelsior Springs Public Works came over, the people that do their cemetery, and shared their experiences and what they allow, what they don't allow. Marcos went out and went to Richmond, Excelsior, and Liberty and took pictures of their signs, and the four of us collaborated because we took bits and pieces from everyone. Some of them were repetitive on their board, and we condensed it to what this is on your back side of your agenda packet. Last night, I presented it to the Board of Aldermen as a discussion item only to let them see if they have any changes. And I think this will be done instead of by ordinance, by resolution. It's a lot easier if we amend a resolution than it is an ordinance. But we'll, once this passes, we'll put it on the city website, the new rules and regulations. I think the last time it's been updated was maybe 70 years ago.
I believe actually it was 1918.
Wow.
Now we could be wrong on that, but that's the one, the only one
That
that
we
we
can
find.
Yeah.
So who owns this cemetery? It's a privately owned or is it city owned?
City-owned cemetery, but there's no rule sign out there, and people, they don't know. So what they don't know, but we can't keep allowing, when Ryan and I go out and spray, well, people have planted bushes next to their graves, and they'll put bricks out, and then they'll put rock, and then they'll have trinkets out in front. Well, you try and weed eat that, and you get stuff all over, and the shepherd's hooks, and people are just planting trees and putting park benches out there, and we've just got to get some uniformity. And so that's what we're attempting to do and clean it up. And, over the winter months, we get it. And all the cemeteries do too, where you might want to put a Christmas wreath for the holidays and leave it up. But we're not mowing in the wintertime. It can be left up, and then come March, we'll take it down and get ready for the spring and things of that nature. So it's just, we want to do a better job out there. And Ryan and I had a pretty lengthy discussion on this, how we can do this. And I think we've come to not all agreements. We don't agree on everything, but we've come to a consensus that it needs to be a better job. It's a reflection of the city. And we've had some people say, different things. Well, we're gonna take care of this and do the best job we possibly can out there. Because people do go out there a lot. It's more than what I thought, and we want to make it look nice.
Well, and it's always been my philosophy, as well as Eric's, that the park should be a source of pride for the community, and we want to treat this no different than a park.
Yep. And it's our goal right away, those pillars at the entrances, they're gonna come out. They don't look good. If we build something, we'll build something at a later date, but right now, we're gonna clean the area up and make it look nice for the holidays. Maybe get some in-ground stakes where we can put some flags up to line that cemetery. Memorial Day, July 4th, and things of that. And then, they fly out on our lights out here. It will look nice at the cemetery. We have flags, so that can be done, but we're going to do a better job, and that's one of our goals. And Marcos is a go-getter. He's out there trimming trees and picking up limbs and cleaning up some of the stones right now that need it really bad. So
What's the capacity of this, and is it closed, or is there still lots, or what's?
there's still lots.
Okay.
There are still
I
lots.
didn't know what percentage it
You
was
know,
as far
off
as.
the top of my head, John, I can't tell you, but there's some things in the works that we're thinking of wanting to do, but it's still in discussion between Marcos and I and Ryan. And we'll bring this to you guys because it is a park department facility now. Even though it's the cemetery, it's still under the park guidance. And the changes that we do, we're gonna let you know. And always, and I think that the city would agree, they'll probably have to start looking down the road for future land because of the growth of the community. It's just a fact. So,
Now, pardon my ignorance, is this the cemetery that's up here to the east of us?
it is.
Yeah,
It is.
okay,
Off
all
of
right.
Grove and Lawrence, I think is what it is.
Lawrence and, or Bodie.
Yeah.
I was just
Now,
gonna
the,
clarify that, because I've lived here 45 years and I can never keep straight. Is that Fairview? Or is
Yeah.
that-
Right, Fairview.
You drive by them all the time.
Right.
but-
That's
Jesse's
on
in Mount
92
Olivet.
Mount Olivet.
Okay, all right.
Now, the people that have already planted trees and shrubs, are they gonna be coming out, or are they gonna be grandfathered in and left?
They're gonna be grandfathered in unless it interferes and they're overgrown.
Okay.
And the ones that are really overgrown, they're gonna come
So
out.
they have not been maintained, is what you're saying?
Correct,
Okay, yeah,
correct. We'll trim the trees that are there,
yeah,
and things of that nature.
Mhm.
But, like the benches, the things that are there that we can take care of, we'll take care of. The things that we can't, we'll have to grandfather those in.
okay. The other nice thing is now is these monument companies sell benches that are actually for cremation remains,
Yes,
and,
if it can fit on your plot,
yeah,
that's what we've got to do. There's flowers and they'll place them all over and on the ground, and then they leave it, and how's our mower supposed to
Yeah.
weed eat? And then they complain that there's, where you want to weed eat, the flowers are there. Well, we're gonna have this taken care of.
yeah, well,
With
it's,
the rules and things of that nature.
well, 1918, that's, I mean, my wife and I, family plot,
Mhm.
1880s, and it's pretty much the same type of rules that are listed here
Yeah,
that have been in there.
so,
So it sounds like it was long overdue to,
yeah. So, anyway, that's all I have, and I'm gonna turn it over to Ryan, for our youth sports stuff. And I think he wants to share a screen, so he is sharing a screen.
Yeah, okay, so you guys can see all that. I just wanted to kind of give you a peek behind the curtain of the program we use as well. We use a program called Team Sideline for all of our registrations.
Ryan, speak up, please.
Can you hear me better now?
There you go.
Okay, sorry about that. So we use a program called Team Sideline for all of our registrations and scheduling and everything of all of our sports. And I kind of wanted to just show you guys what that looked like, as well as showing you our fall sports and fall activities enrollments. So as you can see, these are what's going on right now. Our youth flag football is almost exactly what it was last year. Our youth soccer league is exactly what it was last year. Our youth volleyball is up for girls. Our pickleball league is continuing to rock and roll. We did the pickleball camp that just wrapped up last week before school started. And then, of course, we do our senior day trips. And this number here is really only indicative of the first couple shows, because as we get closer to each trip, the signups pile in and we fill them up. So I wanted to show you that. This is how it's looking. And fall 24 is pretty much exactly the same as fall 23. So while I'm sharing the screen, I also want to show you the next on your agenda is the amphitheater, and we just had our last concert of the season on Friday. It was Double Vision, a tribute to Foreigner. Fantastic show. We had a really great crowd, and in fact, so we recently started using this program called Placer AI that actually pings everyone's cell phone. Everyone that has a cell phone in this area here, this highlighted amphitheater area, it will capture them within a time frame. So for this, we have August 15th on Saturday between 6 and 11. Or excuse me, Friday between 6 and 11. We had 589 people at the concert. The average dwell time, which means roughly how long they're there, is 79, 80 minutes. And one thing to keep in mind, this only counts people that were there for 10 minutes or longer. So it's kind of a neat tool that the city has recently started using for a lot of different demographics and stuff on different events. I think this will also eventually help us on the sponsorship front as well. So it's really neat, and we're really happy with the crowd we had for that last show, and we look forward to scheduling more events next year.
Ryan, are you gonna use this metrics for the Outlaw Festival to see how many people show up for that?
There is no reason we can't. Yeah, we absolutely could.
I didn't know if there was a reason to, but it could be used for it then.
I think it would be interesting to track it. The nice thing is this will track data for a given location, I believe up to 3 years in the past. So it's a pretty powerful tool. Uses what's called geofencing. Kind of a Big Brother thing, but it's actually a neat way to use it.
That's what I was thinking.
It's the reality we live in. But this is a really cool way to use it, for the betterment of our programs. We can use it for youth sports, see how many people are at a soccer game. We can use it for anything we want. So it's really community development. We're the ones, I believe Carolyn was the one who really pushed to get it, and we're thankful that we have access to it. I think it's going to be a great tool for us.
Yeah,
Definitely.
yeah, it will give you a lot better estimate or a lot better number of people who are attending each one of these instead of just guessing.
Well, and the thing of it is too, is on Saturdays when we have our flag football games, we know how many that we have signed up. That's a given that Ryan told you. But it'd be, it's kind of neat seeing how many people are out there watching their kids or grandkids or whatever, just to see how many people are in the park. And we've got, for our youth sports, we've got Naughty Shaved Ice that's going to be selling our ice cream and things of that nature out for soccer and flag football games. And
Well, that's one thing I'd like to use it for in the future, potentially for attracting more vendors and potentially even attracting sponsors for these sport events.
Yeah. Yeah, if they have a pretty good number, or idea how many people are gonna be there, you may get more vendors interested.
Yep. So, thanks Ryan for that update.
Ryan, I have one more question.
Yes, sir.
Do you know when the fall sports schedules are gonna be released?
So the game schedules will be released probably around the first week in September, probably right after
Okay.
Labor Day. What I can say is all the games will be starting in September, with flag football and soccer starting September 28th, and volleyball will be starting mid-September. I don't have the exact date because our first game, we're teaming with Smithville and Platte City for volleyball. And our first game will definitely be either in Platte City or Smithville because the high school gym will be unavailable that day.
Okay,
And we don't, our games, we don't conflict the second and third weekend of
Jesse
Jesse James
James.
Festival. Yeah. That's
Yeah,
why.
since the soccer and flag football are out in Jesse James Park, we just try to avoid the festival altogether. And we originally tried to do it a little differently when we were playing games at Kearney Elementary, but we found that it just works a lot better because all the kids and their families want to go to the parade and everything.
Yeah.
Any other questions or comments from the board?
This placer AI that Ryan was talking about, the board earlier this year had some discussion about some of the events that go on in Kearney, like the lighted Christmas parade, Oktoberfest, and we were given information like this that shows the number of people that were here for like the latest Christmas parade, Oktoberfest. And so this tool is really neat. We knew that the lighted Christmas parade was very well attended, but it was really, really neat to see a hard number of people that when you've got that many people lined the streets, it's hard to tell how many people are actually here. And Eric, do you remember the number for the lighted Christmas parade was?
It was a lot.
Yeah, it was
A lot.
I want to say it was over 5,000 people.
I couldn't believe it. I went to one 2 years ago and it was,
Yeah.
we hadn't got there early. I don't know what we were doing.
Yeah, so it's a very useful tool. And we originally got it for our economic development, for bringing businesses in, because if we can show numbers, then we can attract commercial businesses, so,
Yeah.
yeah.
No, I think it's gonna be a very beneficial tool to
Yep.
have it going forward.
Absolutely.
Do I have a motion to adjourn?
So moved.
Second.
All in favor?
Aye.
All right, see everyone Tuesday, September 17th.